Opportunity will not come to
Again.
you asking you whether today is the day I should be presenting myself as who I really am. It's going to happen anytime. And are you prepared for it?
Style icon you admire and why?
From Mahatma Gandhi to Indira Gandhi, a lot of people in terms of who've lived their brand. So they have all inspired.
Someone very early in their career, how soon they should start working towards executive presence?
Earlier you start, the better it is. And some people are unknowingly doing it, and those are the people who are standing out.
What are those core elements that truly define executive presence in today's world?
3 components: gravitas, appearance, and communication.
Common myth about executive styling you want to bust.
It has to be a jacket, that it has to be, a tie put on, or it can be different. So this is a myth.
And power and authenticity can be built without it.
Without a power suit.
It's important to, again, be socially appropriate, but it's also important to be you. I'm comfortable in a sari. So how to wear that, but in according to that social appropriateness
Absolutely.
is what is possible. Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room, said by Jeff Bezos. Welcome to India's only and the first podcast dedicated to image consulting, style psychology, and the power of first impression. I'm your host, Ruchi Raj, a fashion technologist turned image consultant and founder of Poised Presence. And here we don't just talk fashion, we talk about identity, presence, and the art of intentional dressing. Welcome to today's episode where we are going to deep dive into what it really takes to lead with intention and build a personal brand that resonates with you, your authentic self, and your goals. In a world where impressions are made in seconds and leadership is much about perception as it is about performance, executive presence has never been more crucial. So let's learn more on this in today's episode with Priyanka Kumar, Director of London Image Institute, India, and a seasoned professional with over 20 years of experience into leadership coaching. And she has worked with German multinational company in India and with her experience in Virgin Atlantic Air as crew member. She brings in a lot of wisdom in not just personal branding, but life in itself, aspects of being your authentic self in all phases of life. And now over to Priyanka, and we'll be very happy to address the first question to her. And that is about so Priyanka, since you have been into the industry for a while and you have helped people discover their authentic selves, not just for their outlook, but to reflect their inner versions and reflect the same in their brand, in their work, in their corporate presence, and everywhere they stepped into, right? So we would love to really hear how was this journey, if we talk about the initial challenges and then finding yourself and coming up with the same to portray the same to the world. So how did that journey look like for you?
So thanks to Poised Presence and Ruchi for having me here, and hello to everyone. So it's an interesting question and perhaps a sum-up question of who I am and how it all began. So I've been through various things in my life, like everybody else, I'm sure. So started from being a young student to a flight attendant to a crew manager to an HR manager to and personally, of course, a single person to married to having children to growing in the family and all those sorts of things. So every stage something changed, but yet there was something common. So you change, your face changes, the way you do things changes, and the outside reflection from frilly frocks to leather skirts to now perhaps these saris. So everything changes, but there's this you which is common in whatever is changing. So I know some people may think it's a superfluous seen concept, how the world sees you when we talk about personal branding, when we talk about style, when we talk about fashion. But for me, I think it begins inwards. Perhaps very philosophical and spiritual to say that, but it actually does. So what I meant is that something was common, and to be able to find out well, maybe we never can really the complete truth, but even a major section of who that you is.
Yeah.
And that was my journey. So every time, who is this me really? So in what I spoke, what I did, the choices that I made, whether it was, and choices every minute of the life. I'm not saying the major ones like what profession I choose, but I'm just saying that when I see a man on the road, what do I decide to do about it?
Yeah.
So I mean little decisions, and that helped me discover who I was, what my value is. And based on that, then once I realized that, how do I now let other people know?
Yeah.
Now I sit quietly and expect and cry to the world that I'm a victim and nobody really understands me. So no, that wasn't happening. So I said, okay, now if I need to learn, if I go to Germany and that's where I need to work, so I need to learn German. So if these are my values and this is how I want people to see me, then there's a language that I need to learn. So which is what I started learning. So which is the language of style, which is the language of color, which is the language of fit, to say a lot without saying. So that's what I picked up. In whatever roles in life I took, in whatever or whoever I am, the constant me, so which is my value, which is who I really am, and then the language to be able to execute it and show it to the world. Not only know it myself, I mean, a lot of people know it, but what do you do with it?
Yeah.
The world needs to know. So how do I communicate it in every action that I take? And then eventually, so majority of the people being able to recognize that. So that's the end
Yeah.
reward. So when people tell me, when if I say my value is this and the way I show up in the world should be this, and people say, yes, you are this. So that's my journey. And I could go on forever. I love to talk. And
It's a beautiful one, I must say. It's not so, definitely we all know that it's not, your presence is not just the superficial presence that you portray, but it's more like a reflection of your inner self. And when we see someone like you who has practiced it, and very beautifully you are reflecting the same, the beauty of your authenticity, I believe it's easier to understand, right, when we have an example sitting speaking about it. So thanks for sharing that journey. I believe we'll go deeper into certain aspects of it more as and when this talk progresses. So before anything else, one very important question which I think is very important for as an individual, as a professional, as a human to know is, why is personal branding no longer an option in today's corporate world, especially, or you can say the professional world? Why it's not a choice, because it has become so important everywhere we are talking about it, right? So what's the psychology and the importance of personal branding?
So, in my opinion, personal branding not only today but always has been relevant and always has been equally important. Okay, but in today's world, because the social media, the actual presentation, I mean, everybody being having access to being present everywhere has increased. Therefore, it seems like more.
Yeah.
Now, hear me out when I give you the simple example to substantiate what I was saying. So, if you really notice our political figures, and I'm not going too far away, let's stick to India, during the freedom struggle, from Mahatma Gandhi to Jinnah to Atal Bihari, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, or anybody. Now, if you look at them, even in the charts, you remember in school you have these little
Yeah.
charts, or if you're watching Netflix, then of course any of the serials that you pick up, each individual of them, they were stylized so well.
Yeah.
Nehru had the Nehru jackets
And a rose.
and a rose.
Yeah.
And Jinnah was like polished women, proper what suits with a little kerchief here. And Mahatma Gandhi was in his dhotis, and now everybody, each one of them had their personal brand. They were not only talking that language, not only were sitting with a charkha or doing or interacting with children. They all had a distinctive personal brand.
Yeah.
And mind you, they were leaders and using it to their advantage fully well. So now what has happened is that in today's time, everybody is a leader. So the concept of one man and 1,000 following. Now, what I mean by that is, even in a class, if a teacher or the trainer or the facilitator is a leader, the student is leading in a student's role.
Yeah.
And that conceptual change for a leadership has come. So it's very, very important because it's grown to a level, it always was, but the awareness is more, the platform is larger, the access is more.
Yeah.
So therefore, in today's time, it seems more relevant than before, though it always was.
It's more visible, we can say. It's
Yeah.
more, yeah, it's more out there.
It's more out there. And this, to the second part, what's the psychology behind it? It's important because um, everywhere and everything you're doing, and I'm sure somebody wise, I think I read it in a book somewhere, we can sell, or I'm not remembering the name of it, but it says that you're selling every second, even, and you're not selling the product only, but your ideas. So when a mother is training a child or a family concept is being given, you're selling an idea
Yeah.
and you're building a brand. And I think a homemaker's role as a good, strong brand becomes so important because the family, the nation is being built through it.
True.
So coming back to my point, so because you're always narrating your idea, and the most important part always is what is not said,
Yeah, the non-verbal
the
cues. we say.
non-verbal cues. Who you like, coming back to authenticity and who you really are. That's why this is the psychology of personal brand. It's so important, everything, because every second when you're trying to communicate something,
Yeah.
and if silence talks more and communication verbal, a very important part, but still a small percentage of it. So imagine if you could get your work done just simply by looking at someone. So how much time would you save?
Yeah.
You know, we
Yes.
say for certain
It's-
people, and I'm sure you can think of many of your bosses or people like that you don't have to talk, just the look
Yeah.
is enough. Just the
It's-
presence is enough.
It's like the silent introduction that's being done by your personal brand. Rather, we can,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So in every role in your life, if you're able to communicate that consistently, first to know it, because truth be told, a lot of us don't pay attention, we don't really know.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you did it, life would be so much simpler.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you that it is so relevant that it speaks on behalf of you. Even if you're not in the room, it speaks for you. It's that strong. But the last point that you mentioned, especially about the consistency, I believe that is something which is again a very important factor to consider. That and it grows with time, but being consistent with what you're trying to present, that has equal value, that has to be like really taken care of, because sometimes it just happen, okay, someday we appeared in something else someday, so that disconnect in the consistency might confuse the audience or might.
Oh, absolutely. You know, I'm going to give you an example here. A wonderful thing, a story. It's a borrowed story I heard from someone. So I am an army kid and I take great pride in it, and an army defense wife too. So one of the gentlemen had narrated, a young officer had narrated this story. So he said that, in troubled times in Punjab, I'm talking 84 riots, and after that, so there was a gazette that each officer, they traveled in an open jeep from one city to other.
Mhm.
And they were supposed to carry a gun,
Gun.
AK-47 with them, whatever, the gun in there. And they had to carry it. So this young officer said, this young captain said to a senior havildar, like a sub-commissioned officer, that Saab, aap ye pakad lijiye, you hold this.
Yeah.
Because, we've gone so many times and nothing really happens.
Mhm.
So the senior wise gentleman advised him, the JCO advised him, said, Saab, दो चीज, आज तक जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. If I have not needed it till now, doesn't mean you'll never again need it. Okay?
Yeah.
So the question is not that I will be up to date or present myself when I need it.
Hmm.
The question is, when you need it, were you that or not?
Yeah.
And that opportunity will not come to
Again.
you asking you whether today is the day I should be presenting myself as who I really am.
Hmm.
It's going to happen anytime. And are you prepared for it?
Yeah.
And the second thing he said was, CO Saab ne bola, which is the officer commanding has said so. So both the things, discipline
Yeah.
and
Consistency.
also knowing the importance of that. It's not so you say, okay, and in a corporate world, I mean, I'm talking a different language here now. You say, oh, you know what, when I go for the meeting, I'm going to be in my best tie. But when I go for breakfast to the hotel in the morning, I'm going to go in my boxer shorts. And that's when you meet the client.
Yeah. Yes.
And the client, when he sees you in the boxer shorts in the morning and sees you 1 hour down the line dressed up, so he's like, it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
And the impression you're giving is that you're trying to impress. It's not who you are.
Yes.
And nobody likes being cheated.
Yeah. True.
So, yeah.
That's beautifully explained. Actually, I mean, I love the example that you shared, especially this one that it looks like you're trying to be someone else. So that's how consistency in personal branding is why it's so important. I think that this example has the clear answer of it. So thank you for sharing those beautiful examples from your background, from your father's background, and of course your experience. So okay, now let's jump into some like really handy tips, because being so Priyanka has been, I believe, coach for a while now, 20 years of coaching experience.
Actually,
right?
coaching is far longer.
Yeah, and she's a
Don't
life.
say my age.
No, it's a zip. Even if I say, no one is going to believe it. So yeah, so could you share some tips, guidance, whatever you feel like, on incorporating the elements, especially in the authentic style, because we are talking about style and the presence. So we'll kind of focus a little bit here more and understand some tips or guidance that, especially with the wardrobe and style, that while we are building the personal brand, we should be careful about. Especially being strategic about the image also, because it's really important to also align with the social. So we say, right, 3 dimensions: internal, external, and the social. So some tips on what should be our do's and don'ts when we are building our personal brand, so that we are also syncing in with the image and the social setup. So
Yeah, sure. So being true to yourself, yes, that's one story. But I do understand that you're in a social setting, and that requires. So when we talk about image, we also talk about appropriateness. So the way you're styling yourself, you dressing not only for yourself but also for what you're going to do. So it's often said that dress like who you want to be.
yeah.
Okay. So it's an interesting combination of both. So the first is the awareness and finding out what your true style is. Okay. The second level is what is the appropriateness to where you're going to wear it.
Yeah.
So whether it's situation, whether it is professional, whether it is climate,
Yeah.
whether the weather conditions, whether it is
An event.
situation, everything combined together. And the interesting thing is that you can, once you've identified your style, you can find situational dressing as per that, and to get a right combination. So what I'm saying is, be aware of yourself, be aware of appropriateness of where, what, how are you going to wear things, and thirdly, be intentional, like how for your job or how for your children you're so focused and intentional. Treat your wardrobe and clothes like that, and be intentional about it. Have a strategy in place, shop with care, think about what you're going to do it. So anything done with awareness has a different impact.
Practice. Yeah.
So I think top 3 would be these. So first, identify your style, then the appropriateness, and then build strategically. Now, people who can help you do this is image consultants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially, I would strongly say Illumini from LI, they're fantastic. Please look out for them.
And as well as the faculties.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that's a very strong point, that it's very important to understand the appropriateness. So here's the answer. If it's beautiful to express ourselves, but it's equally important to understand the impact that we are going to create with our presence, the intent that we are having, and also if it is appropriate for the environment. Because if it is not appropriate, it might not align the message in the right way, what we want to convey. So here we have like these 3 steps, and I am sure if we follow that, and that could be a good start when we are building the personal brand. And of course, having image consultants is always a great idea.
See, I'll just tell you, I mean, if I may add one line here. So when we say we go to doctors when we're not feeling
Yes.
well. Or we go to specialists for some, even hiring a choreographer for a dance event
Yeah.
or something like that. So why not hire a professional? Because you're going to be busy in your life doing other things. If you're
Yes.
a socialite or if you're a mother or you have your profession to take care of, so leave it in good hands and be rest assured. So it's an investment you're really making in yourself, and it's not superficial. Please mark my words. It's got a greater impact. The kind of reflection, self-reflection, and when you get those compliments, or when you get the next date, or when you get the promotion, that's when you realize.
Yeah.
So don't be penny wise, pound foolish. If you make this investment, it's a good one.
Yeah, and I think here we have the answer of why why hiring an image consultant or a personal stylist is an investment and not a cost. It's an investment that you do on yourself and your coming future and the coming progresses that you're gonna do. So
Yeah.
it's an investment that you do for yourself, and Priyanka beautifully answered why it is an investment.
Yeah. And let me tell you, it's not only, yes, of course, investment in those terms, definitely, but you find friends for life.
Yes.
And believe me when I tell you that, when you work that closely with people, you're entering into their personal spaces. It's a very responsible job. And when you find these people who you are with, and I have had these experiences years down the line, they turn around and come back and tell you how it's impacted their life.
Yeah.
Somebody getting married, somebody, things that happen, gaining back their confidence. So the outside reflection, but that friend you've made, it's so invaluable.
Yes, true. And it's like a true empowerment that's done through step by step, but it ends up beautifully as an empowered, strong person that you helped with. So totally agree with you. So yeah, we have the strong reason of why we should get professional help if we are busy doing other things. So okay. And then there's few things which I really wanted to talk about the personal branding is, could you share a moment in your career where personal branding opened unexpected doors for you? I mean, something that happened and it was like, because of the presence in the brand that you have built through the time. So any experience that you would like to share with us from your experience?
Yeah, a lot of things flash right in front of me. But one I distinctly remember is what I'm going to, and maybe it's not that professional, but a personal one. So we landed up in Goa once, and we had no reservations, nothing, etc. And so we were talking to people and trying to find a room, and my daughters were very young at that time. So I went and spoke to randomly to someone. We are looking for a
Yeah.
house and a place to stay, and this is what has happened. And he said, "Ma'am, wait." And within an hour, he made sure we had a place to stay.
Wow.
It was a lovely resort, and I don't remember the name, but with the pool and everything, the girls were having a lovely time. And we got friendly with the owners, and we were talking to them. So 4 days later, this gentleman told my husband, we didn't have a room.
Okay.
And why we gave you the room was the way your wife met me.
Beautiful.
And so I don't know what the rest of the conversation was, because my husband refused to share the compliments with me. I'm sure he said something nice. But that's how it opens doors. And, I've realized in other things, this 1,001 things that are coming up in my mind when you ask that question. But this was the first one that came to me because there was nothing to give or take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So when there is something to give or take, then the stakes are different and higher. And but even then, one of the other ones was that in one of my coaching assignments, I remember is this German company, and this was an image, like a personal branding project. And that time there was a cost. The fee that I charged was a certain amount. And when I met those people, they turned around. So I said, okay, this is the fee I charge. X amount I charge. And what I meant is per session, which is
Okay.
roughly about 2 to 2.5 hours. And before I could answer, I think, then again, I deem it to personal branding or whatever it was. They turned around and said, per hour.
Oh, wow.
And I looked and said, what do I say now? I said,
That's, yes.
if you think I'm worthy of that, if my brand speaks that, yes. And overnight, my fee was doubled.
Yeah.
So yeah, so these two
That's
examples just come. I
very
think,
strong. I think I thank you for sharing both sides of it, like the personal and the professional, because it's we talk about personal branding for professional success, but in actual it's for your life, it's for your everyday, it's for your day-to-day things that happen in life, day-to-day relations that you make, professional or personal. So the examples that you shared, I think these were like pretty convincing to help us understand that how beneficial, being consistent and being true to your brand and building that personal brand which is worthy is so helpful, not just professionally but personally too.
absolutely.
So yeah, beautiful examples, and I love that. The confidence in the second example, beautiful. We talked about personal branding, and we equally understand that, especially when you step up in your career and when you take leaps professionally, especially, then again this personal branding, or you can say your presence, needs to level up. It needs to take a leap along with the role you are stepping into, or for example you're envisioning any role. So especially focusing on the executive presence, which is again we would love to understand from you. We hear the buzzword a lot around going on, so many things, so many trainings going on, build your executive presence, build this, be strong, but in actual, to understand that, in your view, what are those core elements that truly define executive presence in today's world as per your understanding? Because it's very important to understand hai kya, what is it? We talk about it, do this, wear a suit, but what is it? What are the core elements? So we would love to hear from you.
So, okay, maybe these three things are what everyone says, and so I'm repeating that, but maybe the essence I will get into each one of them. So, yes, executive presence has three components: gravitas, appearance, and communication. Okay, appearance and communication rather simple to understand. That's what you're talking about. That where the appropriateness of how you dress, what your accessories are going to be, what your behavior conduct is going to be like in communication, whether verbal or non-verbal. Simpler, easier done. Gravitas is the real tricky one. What is it really? And the big question, can it be taught? Are people born with it? So the good news is, yes, you can learn it. Some people, when they say they're born with it, yes, I do believe that you're born with a certain set of competencies. But if you don't work, improve upon, or practice it, it'll go away.
Yeah.
Okay. And for those who may have missed out, now some of us are lucky that as we grow, we have this family, the surrounding where it comes to us naturally. So like I look at my girls and I give you that example. It's a personal example I'm giving. Is they're so well traveled. They've always traveled.
Yeah.
So the kind of exposure the parents and household is doing certain set of things. So they already बच्चों को अभी लोग बोलते हैं, अरे mama is an image consultant, तो ये styling technique तो आती ही होगी. So some of them have it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't get that opportunity. So when they don't have it, they need to learn it. First, going back to step one is the question of awareness that I need it. This is who I am. This is what I need to be in the role that I want to get to. Clarity. Then to find someone to deal with it, to help you learn those things. Now, what I mean is, an image consultant, appearance, communication, they'll take beautiful care of it. Gravitas, they can guide you towards. Okay, they can help you, and that's the internal coach. If you hire a person who also knows these internal techniques of coaching, they can help you build that gravitas. Because what it literally means is weight.
Yeah.
So when you walk in the room, how do you command the room? Okay, and whether it's personal or professional, and since we're talking professional, even more the reason, in your role, in your conduct, again, what are the things that you do now? If, for example, you say that, okay, when you walk into the room, your presence is felt. Or the reliability is extremely high that if whenever you're not in the room and somebody talks about Ruchi, that means the work is done. So building that kind of, why and when will you have it? When you're consistently delivering that value. Now, how do you have it? You really know that now if you were to give a training, 10 days, 20 days standing, if you're physically, mentally, emotionally not strong enough, you can't handle it.
Yeah.
So how do you build the gravitas? By going to that yoga class every day or whatever it is that you choose to do. By getting up every morning and reading something what you're required to do. By investing in yourself, by going and taking that extra class to travel to do. So those XYZ things which have got nothing to do with your career
Directly.
directly, but has got everything to do with it.
Yeah.
So that's how you build that gravitas, and that's a tough one for you to be disciplined. And I always say discipline sets you free. So now, I mean, I'll give you an example, if I may again.
Definitely. I think these are the golden examples that's making things easier to understand. So we would love to have all the examples from your father's experience, from your experience, your husband's experience, anything that you want to
Don't
share.
leave my mother alone. If she's watching it, she'll be like, everyone's come on it. Okay. So yeah, from all the gurus, from all the grown-ups and
Yeah.
from all lovely people who have entered my life, I say this, who've taught, everyone teaches something. They are not telling you become someone else. They are identifying your own style and helping you to build on that. Vis-a-vis, when you're trying to do it on your own, you may, I think YouTube is great and I think online is great, so don't count me wrong here.
If you want to be mindful, if you want to connect, it's a great idea
Yeah.
to know their ways and then just implement it at that moment. So
Absolutely. Likability. You increase likability
Yes,
and
that's-
respect, show respect.
that a book or a resource that changed your perspective on leadership or you would love to recommend to
You
people.
know the answer.